Hello FACEIT fans, more action from North America. M80 took on TSM, and it was an important game in terms of how close can TSM really get to this top two in North America. Toronto and M80 have sat on top since the start of the year, really, and TSM did manage to disrupt it a little bit in stage 1 before a bad stage 2, but they have another shot at it here, and we'll see how close they get. I can talk you through the bans quickly. So, M80 going to ban Samoa, TSM Busan, and then Oasis was picked by M80. Then TSM banned Midtown, M80 banned Hollywood, and Eichenwald was TSM's pick. Then, for Escort, if we need the map 3 decider, it was a Shambali ban for M80, a Route 66 ban for TSM, which is interesting because quite often they're happy to keep that one open so they can play dive. But then it was a Rialto pick by M80 with those options off the table. So, we should jump straight into this one. M80 on the left-hand side of our screen, TSM on the right. Obviously, with TSM, we always have to be conscious of who's playing, and Rocket and Chopper are in, Riker is in. So this is very much the lineup they often use if they want to run dive. Dive pretty viable on Gardens, and also pretty viable on City Centre where we start, but we might see something different on University. Now, the usual comp from M80 is kind of something like what they line up now. They'll play a Diva version of a comp, they'll bunker from this Cars side here, and they'll just try and play through point and play with very pokey DPS, and it looks like it's kind of the same comp, but with a Pharah twist. Pelican's been running a lot of Pharah lately. We'll keep doing the same thing here, and they actually want to go high ground instead here. They'll give a high ground for free, because TSM are just in main. Bubble on the high ground force early, so Riker can't die for a little bit, and M80 are going to use that as a bit of an invitation to put more pressure in. They forced TSM to the backside of this map, so TSM are going to rotate out, jump onto Lyre, but Lyre's boop is good, and Hawk will hound and chase him. Happy wants to swing Riker as well. They force Riker out, and they're starting to get the first flip here. They have to be careful because Chopper has rail. One more touch for Mateball. Now Riker's going to get the touch, but just lands in front of everyone so they can kill this bubble and they can walk forward. Lamp is good by UV. They push TSM back again, and they've got initial control of a point here, M80. Trying to flank through on the left-hand side here is Rocket. But Lyre, UV, and Happy just keeping their distance. Riker is above them now, and actually Chopper's caught Pelican during all of this. The backline were trying to avoid Riker, and that opened up an opportunity for Chopper to find the pick. They need to keep going, though. Riker doesn't have bubble for a few more seconds. We'll be looking to go on the backline here, and they might just try and clear Hawk off point. Yeah, they're just going to bubble on Hawk, actually. They want to force him back, but the bubble's not that deep. Hawk is awfully low, has to get the lamp, but now Pelican is back. They've held on to the point. Dive comes through onto UV. He's running, but the Kitsune Rush to chase him. UV can't escape that one. They're going to lose Hawk's mech. Happy with one of the more optimistic kind news you will see on Topper Kitsune Rush. Doesn't get anything, and the flip is good for TSM. Regrouping at the choke here. TSM might go early. Happy has actually swapped to Widow and Spawn, and Chopper doesn't realise. Takes a headshot, so a free opening pick. All that difficult open space retake they have to do. They don't have to do it anymore. The pick gets them through to point for free. They have window to force this one as well. They have to be wary, though. Beat and Primal available for TSM. They can put a lot of pressure on this backline. Window comes out, and TSM will just disengage it for now. Riker's now got the Primal to keep going. Gets himself behind. Pelican keen to chase. Boot back in. Happy's going to be the target number 1. Lyre's going to be forced out now as well. UV is on the high ground for now, but he's all alone. Has to try and jump out. Beat back, but Maple still has beat, so they're going to keep going. Hawk is low, but they're trying to ignore Hawk. They turn on him now. Force for self-destruct. Riker doesn't have bubble in time. So Hawk gets back into the lamp, remix, player advantage for M80. Hawk's going to mark Rocket behind while the rest of M80 are going to take a step onto point. Overclock back from Chopper. He wants to try and turn it, but what can he find? M80 were dealing with Rocket behind. They've dealt with him. Chopper looking for a rail, looking for something, but Hawk is smothering him. Lyre will finish the kill, and M80, they look good for the retake. Riker will be the last one to die on point. And now they're coming back up to Kitsune Rush here from CJ. A chance to punish the backline again. They caught UV with the previous one. They have to be careful of this Barrage, though. Barrage so lethal. We've seen UV quite often use Lamp with it to make sure Pelican survives these ones as well. Kitsune Rush now up for CJ. UV will be starting atop the pillar in the middle. Yuvi's going to try and rotate to the opposite high ground now. Keep distance between him and the oncoming TSM divers. Riker wants to get close. He's taken a lot of damage, though. He's down to half HP. He has to bubble defensively, and this means Yuvi is safe for now. And Hawk's going to try and step up the aggression. They force the Kitsune Rush on the low ground, and Hawk should be able to get out of this one. No! Can't quite get over the wall, so they do lose him. TSM might be able to give a flip yet. They catch the baby. They catch Happy. Didn't go exactly how I think TSM envisioned it, but they still get the value out of Kitsune Rush. They'll get all the cleanup kills, and they put themselves back in control of a point as we get to last fight territory. That barrage still available for Pelican. Window as well. Liar very close to beat. So a chance just to start with Window. Maybe barrage to burn the Winston or something like that. But this Primal and beat means they can really go quite aggressively here. TSM, as long as they get those ults. Chopper's going to be booped down from the high ground. That's going to allow Hawk to try and take a step up. Riker bubbles defensively to try and keep the space. But M80 gets it regardless. Not quite on that beat yet, but Riker does have Primal. It's a slow and steady fight. No ults committed just yet. Bubble used defensively again from Riker. Window now comes out. Riker's going to pop the Primal. They're just trying to burn Riker down. He's down to half health already. Has to take a step back with this. And they give the flip actually here. A chance to go with Beat. Liar on 98%. Will get it. And Rocket dies as they come in. But Rocket connects. Beat forward now. Maple gets the counter beat off. But there's a pulse bomb on Riker. He's still low. Even with the Beat healing. And Pelican will finish it with the barrage.
This ends now.
The damage is done. TSM couldn't find the timing to go aggressive. M80 doing such a good job. Pressure onto Riker the entire time. Forcing all these bubbles defensively. Which has just made UV's life a lot easier than it maybe should be against this type of dive composition. And the Farah keeps working wonders for M80.
Ready for battle.
And we'll move on to Gardens. So again, another viable one for the same comp from TSM. Looks like there might not be any changes. Maybe Happy going to be starting on the Tracer here. Obviously, the Farah quite strong on this one because there's this whole coast area you can play. Recessing between the Mega, coming back again. A free flank onto this high ground, which is normally quite a difficult area to take if you don't have the initial control. Will be cast Diva actually again, so the exact same composition here. Again, a composition designed to bully Riker. And Pelican will be taking that early coast angle. They force him out, they clear the Tracer, and they get into space on point, but UV's just kind of in the middle here. A little bit of a precarious position for UV. We'll jump to the high ground now, but no! A dangerous way to get to the high ground. Normally you see him take this staircase route instead, but ends up in the middle of point and then gets caught and punished for it. So a mistake from UV. Thank you, Salty Egg, for the tier 1. And a mistake from UV gifts first cap to TSM. Pelican coming around from coast. Tries to land the Rocket Concussion Mine combo for maximum burst damage. Meanwhile, the rest of TSM are trying to get Riker away from this choke. They do force the bubble out. Pelican still harassing him. Low on HP here, but Pelican is still swinging. No fear for Pelican. He's come all the way in behind. He's caught Maple, and Pelican now has the high ground. Riker's going to try and deal with it, but Pelican, he can just keep kiting in this coast area. Then they deal with him, and Pelican is a menace right now. TSM don't seem completely sure how to deal with him. And he's getting away with murder. Thank you as well, Jack, for the Prime. 3 months in a row. The YouTube cameo. And the retake for free didn't even have any ults. Still don't have any ults, M80. They're just about to get Window and Barrage. But now they control this high ground. Pelican will be sitting above them. He gets aggressive in the Window. He found the opening pick on the retake. More threat coming as well. Jump onto the high ground. Window will come out, so they're going to turn their attention to Hawk instead. But the barrage in the back line. Pelican gets both DPS. He'll trade his life for it, but the trade is good. A worthwhile sacrifice. And M80 remain in control of this first point. Forcing them all the way back. Now the scary ults, right? Kitsune Rush, Primal, Beat, especially within this coast area. Chances for environmental kills for Riker if he can connect. Happy Happy can use High Noon and Lai can use B to try and negate some of the damage. They're going to kite inside as well to avoid those environmental kills. They swing to below ground, pressure onto Riker now. Primal has to come out, but Riker has to deep peek with it initially. Chance to come back in now. Happy still has High Noon. There's for High Noon. Wants to boot Hawk in instead. Hawk is in. Forces for self-destruct out. And now the beat to keep going here if they want. Dive onto Pelican. Forces him away for now. Maple has the beat if they want to push him here. Beat will come through from Liar first, actually. Now Maple will respond. Just about gets it off. The overclock for Pulse Bomb. It's all good. The lamp keeps them alive for now, but they're low below it. The backline has rotated away. M80 will survive, but they've lost Hawk on point, and they have to concede for flip. Liar's got a slightly different way from his team and will get caught. After losing Hawk, it was always going to be hard to win that fight. They'll even stagger out UV a little bit here. They got it up to 91% though. So just one successful retake will be enough for M80 to secure in this first map. And I think we know which way Pelican's going to try and come. Chopper knows it already. He's scouting out. There's the boop. Forces Maple to the low ground. One rocket connects with him. Hawks come out the high ground here, and TSM have actually rotated to main here. None of the big ults left for TSM, so they have to win the neutral. Window comes out from UV. Riker's going to try and jump out. Can't get out versus that window. And now they have full control of the point. They force Rocket's recall as well. They'll get the flip. TSM have a chance for one more retake. Riker's going to go Doom. Don't quite have Kitsune Rush yet. It's actually a ball from Riker. Rocket will get the first touch. But M80, they want to keep going. Hawk's chasing into the spawn. He'll get Maple. He's all over Chopper. Chopper's going to get the Mega, actually. Wants to keep focusing him down. He'll go all the way. They've lost the point while they've done this, but they have killed him in spawn. They've denied that Kitsune Rush coming out. Now they can turn around and deal with this ball. Have to be careful of Rocket as well. One more flip. Looking for the next touch. Rocket will be denied. Magnetic Grenade is good. And that will just be the cap. And they played mostly to punish Riker in that, and I think it was fair to say they punished Riker in that. Pelican with a couple of small miracles on the Pharah. Now opening pick, especially on the retake there, was the big one. Moving on to Eichenwald.
Ready for battle.
I can have a good guess at what Pelican's going to play. He's going to be sticking for Pharah. Pretty good on Eichenwald. They'll start it on the defense, and obviously initial pillar gives them lots of options to play around. And then once we get to second, and they're holding onto the high ground, a load of opportunities to drop into any kind of castle rotation and get value. Now, the problem M80 ran into against Toronto was a little bit, how do they control point with this? It will be Pelican's job, and he did make Sugar Free's life very hard, but ultimately it was Sugar Free forcing the kill on Pelican and C9ing that lost them that Eichenwald against Toronto. And we're going to see Sunjun coming in instead of Chopper. And Riker onto the Mauga here. So Hawk will be on the Ram, but be on the Bat Brig. So normally quite a sturdy composition, but Mauga can run through a lot of things. And they're going to have to play well here, the M80 backline, to not get stomped. Both literally and figuratively. Taking the initial space. Liar keeping an eye on the flank. Rocket's going to take this angle on left. Forces Happy back for now. They're just going to clear this Ram shield. No form used yet for Hawk. Looking for a time to go. Have to avoid this. One Rocket connects with Rocket. And actually a boop out onto Sunjun. And he's going to get caught by Pelican. He tested Pelican. And they're going to try and chase out the Pharah here. Riker's gone so deep for it, but Pelican's going to get lapped. Can he get back into it? Yes, can. The pocket's crazy from a Bat Brig. They keep Pelican alive. They kill Riker. And M80 holds strong. Initial fight, no problem, but CJ got a lot of healing in that one. Will be up to this Kitsune Rush. No speed to disengage can make it difficult. Maybe Pelican will actually play it aggressive. Drop the barrage on the Kitsune Rush as they use it. Also a difficult fight for Riker to play. No great tools for the Mauga to avoid or deal with this barrage at all. There we go. Early barrage forces for Suzu out, but they deal with it. They turn and deal with it. Happy trades one with the high noon and the window. They're just peeking the ults for now here, TSM. Then they can walk forward. No lamp either, and here comes Riker. Wants to slam in, wants to go aggressive. Liar's going to try and rally back, bash on, but here comes the Mauga. They need to try and deal with it. Hawk has the angle here. Swing out from Happy. Bash in the front from Liar. Will stomp backwards here, but they have enough damage. Pulse bomb. I think it was on Hawk, but it kills Liar. Happy finds more kills during the bits of this. Pelican is now back as well and connects now a rocket onto Sunjun. M80 have the hold. Used a lot for it. They now have Annihilation as their only ultimate, and they're coming up against a Cage and a Beat as Rocket makes this Genji swap. Really difficult to win this fight for M80. They have to try and avoid the Cage if they can. Riker's going to come in, Beat over top. Rocket's going to dash as well. M80 try and take a back step. Annihilation now. They're just going to try and live in this Cage. Desperately trying to live. Liar's using all of his shield. Hawk's going to block as well. They still kill Hawk through all of it, as is the power, and Rocket's going to come in to finish it. They trade Rocket, but M80 are stuck in house. Actually, Pelican's got two. M80 can swing back out here. They need to get the touch. Pelican goes for it. He dies for it. Window onto the high ground. They need someone to touch. Maple's taking the point. Happy drops now. A stalemate as UV still has this window, but once this window fades, they're going to come back. Hawk is here on Doom. Kitsune rush from CJ. They want to win it here and now. Here they come. High back from Happy. Trying to swing, but Riker there. The punch is good. And TSM, with the help of Nat Kitsune rush, should be okay. Pelican gets a trade and gets out, because why not? Why not? We'll see what Hawk probably goes back to Ramatra here, yeah. They'll come through the choke, and Riker's actually sticking on to the Doomfist for now, is he? Okay, so more of a traditional dive composition. Rocket nearly has the blade. Maple nearly has the beat. Can be a lethal combo. Hawk's going to drop aggressively onto Riker here. Wants to clear him out. Rocket's going to deflect, but no, not enough. The whip shot finishes him off, and now Liar and Hawk can turn their attention to Riker. This is what they did on Oasis so well. They put so much pressure on the tank and any of those divers, and Pelican keeps going with Barrage. Only a one-for-one trade, though, so ultimately really not worth it. They can maybe keep holding the choke here. Pelican will be back mid-fight. Chance for that Beat Blade combo to come out, and no great ults to respond with. No ults at all to respond with for M80. They will get forced back. Pelican's holding Castle as they look for their opportunity here. High Noon comes out to try and take the space. Now they're booped out. Set up for Rocket. Lamp is out. Rocket can finish everyone here. That'll do it. A few more slices to deal with for Ram. And they didn't need the blade on top either. Just for... Sorry, didn't need the beat on top either. Just the blade for that one. So now they can hold close. Both support ults available. And these are the situations that are so difficult to deal with. We're going to see Pelican go Sombra on this one. Obviously good into the Doomfist. But their bigger problem might be the support ults here. Hack onto Riker. They're going to try and turn onto him. Window to finish it. Kitsune rush. They can't quite go through Beat. Now they can go through TSM. They're going to go all the way through. They land on Pelican. They're all over UV. He gets into Lamp. They're all in Lamp, but now the Lamp is gone. Riker on top of him. Here comes Maple. Meteor Strike as well. They're forced all the way out. The payload is capped during all of this. They have to use both support ults. They get themselves through the window. And they just don't have enough tools. Don't have enough tools to survive that powerful combination of ultimates. It will leave TSM a little bit short in these upcoming fights. So M80 should be able to win this fight and probably the fight after it with their ult bank. With 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, though, they will get that timing again, TSM, where they have both support ults up. They just need to make sure the payload is close enough. And actually, well, this Rally just kills Maple straight away. A nice easy one for M80. One ult and done. They'll clean everyone out, and CJ's TP doesn't quite go where he wants it to. He'll fall off the map. Halfway to that big support ult combo. They have the blade in the meantime. Riker has big punch for this next engage now. Might just keep it to go with the blade. Difficult one to deal with. Goes for it. Hits everyone with it. They're all so low. M80 do live, though. Another punch onto Lyra, and M80 are conceding space. Oh, the hack. The hack cancels the block, so Riker will just die. That's why Pelican went Sombra in that exact interaction. And it catches Riker there. And that's an important freebie. That's an important freebie because they had the Kitsune rush. TSM were about to pull the trigger. But they're forced to delay. They still have it coming back up, but Pelican has that EMP. Might just choose to go early if he can find the timing. Eyes on the Genji. Virus from downtown just trying to be annoying here. Remember, his translocator has to stay behind. The rest of TSM are just going to push while this goes on. Kitsune rush on the choke. Meteor Strike catches two. Riker's demolished the M80 backline. They are all over them now. And TSM bearing down on last. Pelican is coming back with EMP, but Maple nearly has this beat. Can Maple get the beat, and can he find a way to avoid Pelican? Survive this EMP. Only 96%, so they drop the EMP. They're all okay, though, actually. They've just survived this. Now the beat push coming back. Hawk has Annihilation. Happy trying to use the high noon to buy time. They're taking a step back. Blade over the top, but Rocket slow. He gets bashed. Liar finds the bash timing. Meanwhile, Hawk is just on the backline. He still has Annihilation. Might not even need it. They dealt with the Blade. Happy will walk forward, demolish them. And now, no, Ultimate's 10 seconds left on the clock, and they have to walk past this Annihilation. I don't think they can do it. Happy's going to make it really hard for him. Dink onto Rocket. Should seal it. And M80 good for the hold on third, and they managed to avoid that difficult ult situation. They deal with the beat most importantly. The high noon buys them a bit of space and time. Liar gets the rally off. Then he catches the Blade as well.
Initiating match.
But still, we've seen teams have problems on Icon Mod attack before, particularly in this second point. Once, say you're on a team like M80 and you want to play maybe like a Ram or something, or some kind of brawl comp, and you're trying to do the rotation through Castle, these are the areas where Dive can really punish you. Where Doom can be really tricky to deal with. So we'll see how M80 solve that problem when they get there.
Ready for battle.
And it looks like TSM actually going to start on Ramatra, Bap, Cass. First point, obviously, quite a lot brawlier. Pelican, maybe unsurprisingly, has picked Pharah. Bap, Brig, Ram seems like it's going to be the play for M80. So obviously a little bit of danger here. Riker and Maple have the chance to be more aggressive, to get Riker a little bit deeper, and Hawk can maybe go in some of these situations. Quite sturdy though, and they have to be wary that anytime they are going aggressive, Pelican's going to be firing rockets into them. Pelican sticking for Pharah as we expect. And that initial spam coming through. They'll get the first choke for free. And Pelican's going to go high in the sky. Boop in. Sunjun actually booped quite close. Will go back now. Magnetic Grenade doesn't connect, so they will be okay for now. Liar's keeping an eye on the flank here, marking that Tracer while the rest of M80 walk forward. Happy's going to take a bit of a swing now, but runs into the Ramatra, so can't go any further. Pelican looking for more rockets from downtown. Sunjun having to run the gauntlet. Meanwhile, an aggressive move from Rocket is dealt with by UV and Liar. No recall now as they go and walk forward. Pelican's taking this right-hand side, getting the angle on Riker. They force him back. Maple's actually half HP on the point. Will be okay. A later form from Riker puts a lot of pressure and forces a lamp out of UV. Lamp is used in response from CJ, but they're taking so much damage here. They're forced into the corner, but I don't think TSM have enough cooldowns left to keep pushing them. Window now available for UV. Will drop that one immediately. They all de-peak. Window in response now from CJ. Pressure onto Riker. He's awfully low. Happy catches him. And now M80 with that tank advantage. But no, Hawk tries to go through. The rest of M80 were looking behind, trying to deal with the Tracer threat. They have force for recall, but now a tankless fight. It's just a dogfight. Lamp does enough. They're still trying to deal with Rocket, and Pelican comes back now. Pelican's killed two. And they will stabilize. And they'll get that first cap. Liar wants to fight Sunjun. Gonna help him out. Riker's actually back on point here, so they have to be careful. UV deals with one threat. Hawk is now back to seal this one. We'll force them all the way out of the choke. And for just a window trade, M80 claim first point, and it will have a 4.5 minute time back for second. They'll start onto the low ground here. At a certain point, TSM will probably have to drop. Meet them on the corner. Riker's going to make that move now. Pelican is just harassing this high ground from the other side of the castle. Very frustrating to deal with. They're going to try and put some pressure onto Riker here. They force his form out as well. The rest of TSM will swing back, but Riker's lost his HP trade quite aggressively. And now Lyre wants to keep going. Bash onto Riker. Forces the annihilation out. Hawk can have a much later one. Happy is swinging so aggressively. The lamp to keep going. Kills CJ, but beat not enough. Riker's going to double down, but he's so low. Happy will deal with that one. And they win the ult trade. Nicely set up. Nicely set up from M80. Brave from Happy, but they knew they had the lamp. They were ready for it. And importantly for M80, they keep hold of this annihilation. They keep holding this barrage. Sun Junior's going to go Ashe. Riker is going to go Diva. The Pharah. These swaps really scream that they're having problems with the Pharah. Barrage available at the choke as well. Riker's going to force Pelican back for now. But I won't stop Pelican for long. Meanwhile, Hawk's put pressure on the Ashe, so Pelican's relatively free. He's trying to lurk his way into the backline. Do they know where he is? Finds the Baptiste. Misses for shots, though, and Pelican will actually get chased down. But meanwhile, the annihilation on point. They're just dealing with point instead. But they traded it out. Hawk will claim the baby kill. They'll be forcing it in. Slow on the choke as well. And that'll finish Mate Ball. And they deal with the Pelican threat, but they lose the frontline trade at the same time. So now, all of a sudden, this capture progress, this distance that TSM put on the board, looks awfully fragile. 4 minutes on the clock. Pelican has barrage. Rocket will be going Genji again. It's now a Genji Sigma Ashe Bap Lucio. Hawk will come back. Happy to fight the Sigma there. Happy to trade. Rock on the choke. Catches Happy. He'll be pocketed through everything. Window now. Hawk's awfully low. Can't go through it. Lamp not in time. The rest of M80 will have to run. Barrage to try and trade it. But they were wise to it. And TSM shut that one down in no time. Still trying to push for more trades here. Lyre is swinging behind. But he's going to get a rock in the behind. And TSM win the first of what needs to be a string of 4 fights. They're going to hold forward here. A chance to take some more time off the clock. Sunjun does have Bash. Or just have Bob. And Maple has beat. M80 will get underneath initially as Hawk has gone Sigma. Coming through the high ground. They're going to rally as well. They're running, actually. And I think TSM are going to get away from this. They concede for space for a rally, and TSM will be happy with that. Now Riker's going to meet him at the choke, but one more bash. They have to lamp Rock over the top. It forces the beat. High noon to live the beat, but here comes Bob. Happy's going to walk back out. Might just take the Bob kill with it. Bob will be executed. Pelican has gone Genji now as well, and they turn on Rocket. They catch him. Now they're coming forward. They catch Mateball as well. They need to die on point here. They don't get out. They need to be careful. Yeah, they're going to die on point now. They did at least get a lot of the ults out. Riker is coming back with Flux. CJ will have window partway through as well. Not too much to actually use in response. Hawk the closest with Flux of his own. But they might just have to try and live this initial Flux and come back. Matrix used will get rocked by Hawk. Now the Flux comes through. Lyre is the only one caught by that, so might not even need to Lamp, actually. Lamp is saved. Now Hawk with a chance to use the Flux to finish. They window as well. Hawk's going to keep trying to live. Rock keeps himself safe for now. Flux as well. Tries to find the damage. Lots of pressure onto Riker now. He can keep walking forward. Gonna have another rock timing soon. Pressure onto Riker. He thinks he can finish him. He can. Behind him swing is good. Hawk is all over the backline now. And he will clean everything up. 1 minute 47 to spare. And a comfortable win in the end for M80. Felt like, honestly, they were just a step ahead in a lot of these trades. Whenever it was a big ult fight, we always saw M80 have the sort of plan for, like, here's the ult we want to get out, then we'll go with our ult. A lot of TSM's ults really didn't find the value they were looking for. And especially once we get to the end there in the Sigma. I mean, Hawk's good at Sigma. Not one I'd favor Riker in, and it felt like he just kept getting every rock landed on Riker. So Hawk, really happy to see that Sig mirror come out at the end. We can take a look at the scoreboard from the end of this one. Oasis was actually pretty one-sided here. I think the key one for me is what was Riker's deaths. He was only 5 in the end. But it felt like he was under so much pressure. You can see here, 11.6k damage for Pelican. Who was the closest? Chopper maybe on 8.7. Just so much pressure from that Pharah coming out. Honestly. Such a threat to deal with. We'll see it as well. I very much expect to see it at Dallas as well. So we'll see how far Pelican can take it. As we move on to Eichenwald, it was actually a decent attack, really. But the longer the map went on, we see Happy. Yeah, 38 and 5 for Happy. Not too shabby. A 19k game. Meanwhile, what are we looking at? Yeah, 11 deaths for Riker, 12 deaths for Rocket. Felt like, I think when I think back to when TSM were at their best and had some of their best results, it was always a sort of Rocket carry at some point. So Rocket would find a clutch play. It really felt like M80 just had Rocket on lockdown that entire game. Obviously on Eichenwald, they were playing Bat Brig, so it was quite tricky for the Tracer. But it just felt like Lyre was marking the flank every time Rocket wanted to do anything. UV was turning to deal with it as well. And it felt like they were really able to shut down what is normally one of the key men for TSM in Rocket. They were able to shut him down a lot. And I mean, 12 deaths on that Eichenwald probably demonstrates that a bit as well. And yeah, a good win for M80, looking good as they go into Dallas. I think important results to compare is obviously Students of the Game recently beat TSM as well, but you consider how close that game was compared to M80 here, who you always felt in control of this series, and maybe potentially some of the gap we might see once it actually comes Dallas time. So in terms of player of the match, I mean, lots of people played well on M80. It was a comfortable win. But, I don't know, it wasn't Pelican's most spectacular, honestly. There was a couple of nice moments. The Pharah is causing them lots of problems. Who was player of the match? Was it maybe just UV, actually? Is that a hot take? Anyone in chat agree? No, it might have actually just been UV. Dealt with all the threats behind. Very ready. Maybe there's one late lamp on Eichenwald, but everything else seemed pretty solid. Good window value. Hawk was great as well. True, actually, yeah. Actually, true, yeah. I think that's a good shout. I think Hawk in the first map, so much pressure onto Riker. We talked about how much of a hard time Riker was having. And actually, in large part, it's because of M8, how aggressive M80 were playing and how much Hawk was doing as well. Then once we got to that final map on the Eichenwald, the SIG gap was massive at the end, right? But even the Ramartra, I felt like he was winning the HB trade more often than not. He saved his Annihilation for key times. That fight where M80 capped second, we were watching Pelican's POV, and Pelican was just dying on the flank. But meanwhile, Hawk was just winning the fight on point with Annihilation, you know? So I think actually a lot of praise should go Hawk's way. So Hawk player of the match. So congratulations to Hawk, congratulations to M80. A good win pre-Dallas for M80 against one of the tougher opponents they'll run into. Obviously, their week's only going to get harder as they go to Dallas to take on Crazy Raccoons in their initial game. But excited to see how that goes. Excited to see if anyone can really stop the menace, and that is Pelican Pharah. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching that one. I'll see you in the next one.